Hello Moto GP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Ducati's managing director Gigi Dall'Igna has spoken candidly about a season of extremes. One rider, Marc Márquez, in dominant form and another, Pecco Bagnaia, suddenly struggling. In a short documentary and post-season interviews, Dall'Igna laid out the garage's reality: pride in performance, confusion over decline, and the hard business of getting results. Here's a deeper look to explain what unfolded in Borgo Panigale. Francesco Bagnaia opens up in the new documentary about Marc Márquez, honest, raw and reflective. The 2025 season saw two very different stories unfold inside the Ducati garage: Márquez's dominance and Bagnaia's baffling loss of form. Here's a deep to explain what went wrong, how it felt inside the team, and what the Italian's outlook is now. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Going into the year, Ducati's paddock expected the season's headline rivalry to be internal: Marquez versus Bagnaia. Dall'Igna spoke for many when he framed the garage as uniquely fortunate. Two riders with elite records and the tools to push each other. That initial confidence set the bar high. But expectations are dangerous when the machine or the moment doesn't translate across both riders. What began as an assumed two-way fight instead evolved into a one-man campaign, and that gap forced the team into constant problem-solving rather than simply managing championship tensions. We probably have the best riders in Ducati's history, but honestly, I'm sure we can handle the situation. The line captures both pride and the unspoken pressure. When you believe you can handle internal competition, failure becomes a managerial headache as much as a sporting one. Bagnaia's dip in form was more than a headline. It reshaped team priorities. Dall'Igna and the crew tried every lever: setup changes, engineering analysis, and personal support. But when a factory team star underperforms, the ripple effects are profound: sponsor expectations, development directions, and even garage morale shift under the weight of missed podiums. Dall'Igna's frustration is unmistakable. He wants solutions, but the problem was complex, stubborn and, as he admitted, sometimes inexplicable despite hard work. It's difficult to explain, and if I knew, I would truly be happy because I could do something to resolve this situation or reduce the problem. That candor is rare at senior executive level, a public acknowledgement that some performance issues resist immediate technical fixes and demand time, patience, and perhaps new thinking. While Bagnaia hunted answers, Marquez produced a near otherworldly run. Week after week he converted pace into wins, and in the video Dall'Igna is visibly moved by the rider's relentlessness. A competitor who sacrificed contracts, comfort, and typical career routes to claw his way back. The result was a season where fighting Marquez felt, in Gigi's words, exceptionally difficult, not simply because of bike speed, but because of Marquez's complete, race-winning package, adaptation, commitment, and the sheer will to win. It's incredible when he's on the track with the bike. It's very difficult to fight against him, but he wants to win, plain and simple. That statement explains why rivals felt outclassed. This was not a rider content to manage championships. He was a competitor intent on domination. Dall'Igna's closing reflection shifts the narrative from short-term pain to long-term perspective. He frames the season not only as a technical campaign but as a life story about sacrifice, choices, and recovery. For Ducati, the task is twofold: sustain the winning machine around Marquez while re-energizing the side of the garage that must bring Bagnaia back to form. Dall'Igna's tone is pragmatic and human, a leader who recognizes the sport's ruthless demands but also the personal costs that make triumphs meaningful. In the end, for me it's a life lesson, because he has given up many things: money, a factory team, visibility, and all of that to come back. That's as much an ode as it is a roadmap. Appreciate the human story behind results, but also use those lessons to build resilience in the team. Gigi Dall'Igna's reflections strip back the glamour to reveal a raw paddock truth: success and struggle often coexist in the same garage. Ducati celebrated a dominant champion and wrestled with a gifted rider's sudden slide. The coming weeks will be crucial, engineers searching for marginal gains, coaches rebuilding confidence, and leaders like Dall'Igna balancing short-term fixes with long-term strategy. If there's a single takeaway, it's this: MotoGP is mechanical, psychological, and deeply human, and managing all three is what separates good teams from the great. Heading into the year, everyone expected a heavyweight duel inside the Ducati garage. Bagnaia and Marquez were billed as the headline rivalry, two riders with everything to fight for. Early on, that promise held: close battles, sharp overtakes, and the kind of wheel-to-wheel drama the paddock craves. But when the season turned, the momentum swung sharply. Bagnaia's opening reflection captures that contrast between preseason hope and the painful reality that followed. "It's certain that Marc is a different kind of rider than me or the rivals I've had before. He's very energetic, and when he celebrates, he puts on quite a show." The line is not resentment, it's recognition. Bagnaia acknowledges Marquez's force of personality and performance, and sets the stage for the emotional complexity that followed. Inside a factory garage, teammates are collaborators and rivals at once. Bagnaia stresses that the relationship with Marquez remained fundamentally respectful, even when on-track battles grew heated. That's important: friction was professional, not personal. Still, when both men are gunning for the same prize, emotions intensify and patience thins. Bagnaia's comment underscores the fragile balance needed to keep competition productive rather than corrosive. "When you're fighting for the same goal, it's not easy to have a peaceful relationship, but we're smart enough." He's saying, we managed the politics, even if the pressure in the garage was immense. What makes Bagnaia's season so haunting is the technical mystery. He describes an exhaustive search for answers: setup changes, riding tweaks, advice from team members, even from Marquez himself, but the results stubbornly refuse to follow. That uncertainty eats away at a rider's confidence, because success in MotoGP is equal parts machine, method, and mindset. Bagnaia's frank admission reveals the day-to-day grind behind the headlines. "One thing that happens to me is that I always confront the problems before judging other things. I try everything, in different ways, trying to adapt to what the team told me I had to do, but the results are always the same." That sentence exposes the worst kind of sporting anxiety. You do the work, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, and nobody, not even the rider, can explain why. Perhaps the most human part of Bagnaia's testimony is his struggle to reconcile disappointment with loyalty. He never doubted Ducati. He says his career could start and end there, yet being outpaced by your own teammate is a unique kind of hurt. Bagnaia admits the psychological strain plainly. Seeing your garage mate dominate while you flail makes it difficult to stay positive. Yet, he also hints at resilience. The Japan win and the sprint victory were flashes of the rider he knows he can be. "It's not easy. If your teammate is winning and you're getting bad results, it's hard to believe. I've never doubted Ducati, because I believe my career can start and end with Ducati." That mix, wounded pride plus steadfast loyalty, is the emotional engine behind his comeback attempts. Bagnaia's words strip away PR polish and put the viewer in the garage, a space of elite engineering, human frailty, and relentless pressure. He's candid about confusion, honest about the hurt, and quietly committed to the team that backed him through thick and thin. The road back will be technical and psychological, restoring the braking feel, the corner confidence, and the belief that turned him into a champion. For fans, the documentary is a reminder that MotoGP is not just machinery. It's people putting their careers on the line, lap after lap. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!